Hi, my name's Deborah, and I am a wife of 20 years. I am a mother of 18 years, meaning my three kids are almost grown up by now. I have my own successful business, and prior to that, I worked in corporate America for 20 years and was very successful there, built my career from college all the way up. I am an only child. I have parents that live very close by. I have three dogs, so I'm a fur baby mama. And I am very active in my church and in my children's activities, and I have been all through their lives, including Scouts and PTA and Booster Club and sports, etc. And I am also an alcoholic. And that's what I wanted to talk with you about today, because I know when I started coming to the realization that I had a problem, I felt very alone. And I didn't think there was anybody out there like me. In other words, wife, mother, upstanding citizen of the community, holding down a really great job, yet having this awful, dirty, shameful secret. And I remember it was about 10 years ago, I was reading a magazine article in a ladies' magazine, and it was an article about women and drinking. And that was the first time that I realized that there just might be other women like me, and that I might not just be this incredibly awful monster freak of nature with this horrible, dirty secret, but that, I could be a wife and mom and successful career woman, but also have this problem. And from there, I started to become more aware. It started to kind of give some shape to what I was experiencing in my life. I remember as my disease progressed, because it did get worse from there. I mean, I read that article, but I didn't do anything at the time. It just kind of made me start thinking. It continued to get progressively worse. And I remember looking at myself and thinking, how did I get to be this person? And why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? I can remember thinking, how did I go from being the girl, the woman that didn't even have alcohol in her home, certainly didn't wake up in the morning thinking about it? How did I go, and didn't drink every day? How did I go from that person that kind of cared less about alcohol to this person that thought about it all the time, that was absolutely consumed with it? It's not something that I didn't drink like that always. There was a time when I didn't need alcohol every day. But by the time I came to the realization that I was an alcoholic, that's where I was at. And I can assure you that I didn't come to the realization lightly. I tried everything else. I actually took a test. There's a little test if you Google alcoholism. There's a little test you can take that assesses how you drink. And I just read a book by Queen Latifah, and she was talking about how she took that test as well because she was wondering. And she didn't come out on the side of being an alcoholic, but she knew she had some problems with drinking and needed to change some things. For me, the test was quite conclusive. And that was, again, another wake-up call. I didn't, I was now having to look myself in the mirror, and I was labeling myself, obviously. I now had a label. And again, at this time, I didn't understand a lot about it, but it was, again, a very shameful label to have. It was not something that I would want anyone else to know. And here I am talking to you about it now. But I thought, well, there's got to be something. Okay, let's see how we can do this. And I tried. I tried to cut back. I went to therapy. I talked to my husband. I talked to my mom. I tried to do it on my own. But here's the thing about alcoholism. It's not about willpower. And that's where I think so many of us feel so bad about ourselves, because I can remember thinking to myself, gosh, why can't I do this? I know this is bad. I know this is wrong. I know that when I wake up in the morning and I drink in the morning and then I drink all day, I know this is not good for my family. It's not good for me. And I had a terrible car accident that could have killed me. I wasn't drunk, but at that particular time, I did have alcohol in my system, and I've come to learn that I had a blackout. You don't have to be drunk to be impaired. You don't even have to be drinking to have blackouts. When you have drank enough throughout time. I had this accident and I thought I could have died. I could have left my children motherless, my husband a widow, and yet I still didn't stop drinking. Why? Why didn't I love my family enough to do this? Why wasn't I strong enough to do this? And I felt even worse about myself, right? I felt like a failure. But it's not about willpower. And that's what I want to share with you. Since I've started sharing my story, I have people that ask me, they message me and they say, I'm wondering if I have a problem and I'm not sure what to do and I don't know who else to talk to. Well, here's something. If you think you have a problem, then you probably do. Now, you may not be an alcoholic, but that should be your wake-up call that you may need to do some things differently. And you may be somebody that can simply, with that awareness that you do have a problem, that you are drinking too much, and that it is impacting your life in negative ways, that you can change your behaviors. But if you try to do those things, if you try to change your behavior and it's not working, then you need to come to the realization that you have a bigger problem. And the reason I did not want to embrace being an alcoholic, and the reason I did not want to embrace going to AA, which is why I tried other things, is because I knew that AA was a program of abstinence. And I can assure you that for me, I tried to cut back, but I never really tried to stop because that wasn't an option for me. I couldn't imagine life without drinking. I couldn't imagine going on a cruise, going on vacation, going to the lake, going to a Christmas party, hanging out with my friends on a Saturday night. I couldn't imagine doing those things without drinking. I couldn't imagine it. And so when I finally had to come to that realization that nothing I was doing was working, that I didn't have the power to do this, I had already done my research and I knew that abstinence was the only option for me. Because you see, for me, when I don't drink, I'm fine. It's when I do drink that things go wrong. And I've learned that as long as you don't take that first drink, then you're okay. You may have other issues in your life, but you're not going to get drunk if you don't take that first drink. And when I think about drinking today, I don't think about having one drink. That doesn't interest me at all. I would say, why bother? And I know how the story ends for me. I know how the movie ends because I've been there, I've done that. I know if girl in the story, in the movie, drinks that first drink, I know how the movie will end. And so I just wanted to share my story with you as maybe a way to get you thinking, to kind of help you come to, gain some clarity about where you might be in your decision-making process. And also to help women like me realize that we can still be amazing women. We can still have an amazing life and be an alcoholic. And I've been in recovery for 7 years. This is my 7-year anniversary this month. And there is life after drinking. There truly is. And I know when I was at that point of taking that step into recovery, I didn't see it. I couldn't imagine it. But I was told by others that it is possible. And I'm here to tell you it's possible. And I can tell you that life is so much better today. The blessings that have been bestowed on my life have been so incredible. And to think that a little over 7 years ago, I had given up on life. I truly had. I believe that the only reason I was even fighting to make it through every day was because I didn't want to leave my family without a mother, without a wife, without a daughter. I knew that would be painful for my family. For my own self, I didn't care. And I've gone from that person that didn't care about my own life to somebody that is excited about life. And I know that I have much to offer. And I know that I've been on this journey. I truly believe that God put me on this journey. When I asked myself, why me? Now I understand that I was chosen to share this message and to share a vision of hope for others and to be a friend if that's what you need. So I am happy to answer questions or chat or be a friend. I will leave my contact information in the comments of this video, but I hope that it's given you hope. I hope it's giving you some insight, and you are not alone, and you're not a bad person, and there is hope for you. You can do this. It will be the hardest thing you've ever had to do. If abstinence is the path that you need to take, it will be the hardest thing you've ever had to do, but you can do it. Good luck.